What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Domuto. We are back with another video. Today we're watching the Geek for Fun. What if Goku was in DC Part 16? Alright, we're coming a long way. It's like 23 parts to this. And yeah, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? It's a long yet. One of the parts was like 6 minutes. Geek for Fun. Goddamn, Nick, dude. Not swearing. But anyway. I'm ready to get into it. If you're ready to get into it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and shout out. Just hit 1300. You know what I'm saying? And let go.
Prince Vegeta looked out the window of the
Oval
Office,
by the end of the year.
watching the sea of reporters and protesters gathered outside. Tensions were high in the room as President Luthor tried to keep the focus on what brought Wonder Woman and the Prince to the White House. Kandak's leader was threatening to invade Greater Bialia, which Lex had finally gotten to open trade. If it were to fall into the hands of Black Adam, then there's no telling the damage it could do.
You mean
to
The
his
Rock Johnson?
political
Come on now.
I must admit, I'm surprised you'd call me on to come help with this. Ever since you resigned from the Justice League, you've seemingly done nothing but rally ire against us. Present company in particular.
You're referring to my critiques, and I assure you they're just that. I respect you and the League, Diana. You know that.
You know that.
But we all need to have people on the outside who can stop us from crossing a line. Batman understood that. May he rest in peace.
Damn, nigga.
I will admit to being apprehensive of your choice. I'm more than willing to say when I'm wrong. Vegeta here seems to be putting his best foot forward by all accounts. I'm just glad to have a chance to help demonstrate his newfound growth as a hero to the public.
Aren't you kind? Honestly, I'm surprised your guards would let me into your capital. Not much of a palace, if you ask me.
Guards? What guards? I retired the Secret Service on day 1. What use would I have for guards? I'm Superman. Besides, we all know I've nothing to fear from you, right? You're one of the heroes now.
Yes.
Oh, he about to push some buttons.
That's what I am. A hero.
Oh, the fuck is this?
Figure.
Okay.
So a holographic meeting. Another
That was
taking
unexpected.
place,
I was not expecting that.
but
Okay.
not in person.
That threw me off.
To do so would arouse too much
Well,
suspicion.
shout out to the intro.
So a holographic phone call would have to suffice. The leader of Kandak argued with a shadowy figure. He joined their cabal in order to keep the heroes of the world in check, to protect Kandak. But now that he was being called on to allow these heroes into his own land,
Right.
his own country, all as a part of some master plan, he was displeased, to say the least.
I am not some pawn to be manipulated for your machinations.
What the fuck?
I demand to know why you request such a thing from me.
We simply require data. The boy from Metropolis, the re-emergence of Kakarot Kent, and now the Saiyan Prince. All have reached this new level of Super Saiyan. In order for our plans to move ahead, we must know what we face. And you are our most powerful operative. You can push the prince to his limits, and then send the Amazon away to lick his wounds.
Well, if it is a demonstration you wish, yes, this could be arranged.
On Kent Farm, Gohan and Cassandra had expected another day of training, of listening to Kakarot Kent describe how to reach and channel Ki properly, how to keep it in check so as to not overwhelm, in Gohan's case. The boy was letting too much of it go in mere moments when a fight became too intense. His energy poured out of him along with his emotions, which was almost the exact opposite problem Cassandra faced. She was so controlled, so focused all of this time, that if it continued this way, she may never achieve what she was truly capable of. She needed to learn how to let her spirit flow naturally. But instead of focusing on that, the three were in a barn, looking at a cow. An incredibly fat cow. This particular cow had managed to get itself pregnant, and so the day's training was put on hold to deliver the calf. Wonder Woman and Vegeta had headed to Kahndaq in Diana's invisible jet, and after some time, the peace talk ceremony went underway. Wonder Woman was usually happy to go along with the pageantry of events like this, but this was getting ridiculous. For 4 hours, the king had taken her and Vegeta around the capital. They'd seen hospitals, schools, government labs, and now they were being walked down the Royal Palace Portrait Hall. While this could perhaps be an opportunity for learning some of Kahndaq's rich history about its leaders, Black Adam had ruled for hundreds of years. All the portraits were nearly identical, and if Wonder Woman was getting exhausted, it was no small surprise that Vegeta had grown outright enraged. The prince had initially been intrigued to see how Earth rulers ran matters of state. Even the reputation of this Black Adam as the homicidal king garnered his attention. But it was clear that nothing was being done, and that was not something the prince could stand for.
Is this some kind of ridiculous Earthling technique? Boring us to death with pitiful distractions?
Do you Amazons always allow your slaves to speak?
Vegeta is not a slave.
You see my confusion, yes?
Oh, he about to,
a defeated enemy
shit, he about to
requests
instigate.
your colors,
He about to
attending
instigate.
your side? I meant no offense. Your mercy is unsuited to it. Had the three monkeys attempted their invasion on my soil, I would have split them down the middle.
We wouldn't have been fool enough to destroy a kingdom of disease and sand. Not very grand to demolish a palace that's already in tatters.
I will not fail like you did, lording over bones and space ash.
Better to have died in strength than to squirm on in this squalor.
On that note, surely you understand why any kind of war would only serve to put further strain on your people. President Luthor has drawn his line in the sand. We're here to help make sure that there's no need to get near it.
President Luthor, Princess of the Amazons, leader of the Justice League, American lapdog.
Oddly enough, it was this that seemed to get the biggest rise out of Vegeta. To do what he knew Luthor had really sent them to do. Put this warrior king in his place. Vegeta was all too familiar to a hidden motive. For both Darkseid and this Lex Luthor used similar language when launching missions of war. Vegeta, who had been leaning against the wall near one of the many portraits, brushed it with his shoulder. The ancient painting fell to the ground and crumbled to dust.
Oops.
Just as he hoped, the charade of
Vegeta,
peace
why
was
you gotta
over.
do all that, nigga?
Faster than lightning, Black Adam had maneuvered around Wonder Woman and knocked Vegeta through the wall with a massive double hammer punch. Sliding through the sands outside the palace, the prince smirked. The action he'd been waiting for. A simple mission. Defeat the homicidal king, end the brewing war, and let the bald man take the credit. He'd have turned it down any other day, but he'd yet to have the opportunity to assess the limits of his Super Saiyan form. And this king of sand seemed like the perfect test dummy.
Like Adam is strong.
I've been told you draw your powers from so-called gods. Then allow me to show you the legend of my people.
The Super Saiyan smiled as he witnessed Black Adam recover in midair, bruised, but clearly not entirely outmatched. Good. Maybe he could stretch his legs at last. A bolt of lightning was hurtled at Vegeta, but the prince cloaked his own hand in his aura and caught it out of the air, then threw it right back at Adam, who was even more insulted at such an impudent act. It was a tactical showboat, as now, Vegeta took the chance to appear behind Black Adam's lowered guard and knee him in the ribs, preparing to fire a blast of his own at the Immortal. But Adam was surprisingly quick and grabbed Vegeta's hand, smashing it into the prince's own head, returning the favor from earlier. A quick combination of blows echoed through the sky as they darted across miles in moments, gaining a greater sense of each other's fighting style and how they both planned to overcome it. Wonder Woman focused on keeping the damage erupting from the two displays of power from hurting any civilians, and saving what architecture she could. Back at Kent Farm, two strangers had landed on a cornfield, frankly amazed at how well kept the land here was. But it didn't distract them from their goal. Kakarot Kent was alive, and they were here to make sure that didn't last long.
Hey folks, the Geek for Fun Cinematic Universe, or the GC.
Alright, you two, this will be a good lesson in control. My mom helped me control my strength by looking after the animals. They're quick to let you know if they ain't comfy. But there's no need to worry. I'm gonna watch and make sure you don't do nothing bad.
Well, that's a massive relief. I've been very curious about the birthing process, and being able to have a mentor while I learn is a great opportunity, Mr. Kakarot.
Sparring?
Nah, this is even better for you. Sometimes you can learn to fight without fighting.
Okay.
Anyway, first things first, and this is really important. You have to...
Kakarot Kent!
Ah, nuts. I'll be back in a sec. Good luck!
Wait, what?
Kakarot used his Violet Rift to teleport out of the barn and appear next to two old foes on his doorstep, Atomic Skull and Metallo. He had faced them both countless times over his career, but he'd never seen them team up. They'd been nothing to him as he was now, even with his current circumstances.
So that
but
picture,
the fact
nigga.
that they seemed confident had him excited.
Yo guys, been a while, huh? You still up to evil and stuff?
We're here to kill you. That's all this is.
We thought we'd never get the chance, but thanks for surviving so long to let us get the honor.
No problem.
You're still as dense as ever, but we've changed. We've made up for our weaknesses.
Oh, really?
Good for you, nigga. Damn.
You guys been listening to my suggestions on how to get stronger?
Yeah, you know, you made some pretty solid points.
Don't you think him?
Right, forget this talk. We're here to kill. Let's do this!
Bring it on!
Commence fusion!
Metallo's body opened up in a bizarre display of metal. The full skull stepped into his now open form, Metallo closing around his ally, forming a suit of armor around his figure.
How do you like this?
Neat! You guys are super strong now!
Thank you. We've really been impressed by the results.
Don't you thank him?
You guys are like a married couple!
Boy.
We are married!
Kakarot was happy to hear his two foes could find love, but way more interested in their new combined strength. The outer shell of Metallo prevented Kakarot from dousing Atomic Skull's flame, and now Metallo finally had a suitable power source. The pair charged at Kakarot, who readied up with his Ryujingu Bang, eager to battle. In the barn, however, the once eager Gohan was now panicking at the thought of having to deliver a baby without supervision, listing off all the different ways the procedure could go wrong, unable to stop his hands from shaking, as the thought of failing an innocent life by his lack of knowledge began to overwhelm him.
Hello?
What? Sorry, I don't know where to start. Well, I do, but it could go wrong.
Useless. I'll handle.
Cassandra was in mission mode,
Alright, Cassandra, go
watching
do
the
it then.
cow's movements and analysing what was happening to its
LeBron.
body. But as she approached the cow, the beast grew distressed and tried to kick her away, as if it could sense the danger of Cassandra. Batgirl couldn't help but notice how easy death could reach the animal. It was how she viewed the world, and the cow was terrified of her as a result.
It's scared of you. If it stays dressed like this, we could lose the baby.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Back in Kahndaq, Vegeta and Black Adam's war continued to ravage the land. Ki blast volleys and lightning surges rippled in every direction. Their immense speed, leaving no area untouched. Had Wonder Woman not been able to keep up and protect what she could, Black Adam could see that Vegeta looked to be tiring. This new state was obviously draining on the fighter, and what had been a sizable gap in their strength now began to fall in Black Adam's favor. He struck Vegeta in the chin with an uppercut,
Come on, Vegeta.
then grabbed his neck in a chokehold, which could have ended the prince's life had Vegeta not reacted with a vicious headbutt against the divine empowered warrior, smashing his spiked hair into the dictator's face. In a moment that surprised both fighters, Wonder Woman jumped in between the two and began to attack the prince, hoping to recapture his attention in the only way that seemed to get through to him.
I will not let you jeopardize our charge because of your ego.
Jeopardize? I was sent here for this. Your former subordinate clearly wanted this fight. Hell, he brought it on.
So it has a brain.
There you have it. Now stay out of my battle.
Diana felt sadness well up in her heart. The manipulation was clearly obvious to everyone else, but she had truly believed that this was a mission of peace.
Hell
Fine.
no.
Fight like children.
This interruption gave Vegeta a reprieve, and let him consider what the battle had taught him. Super Saiyan did not serve for long engagements. Its immense power was not continuous. Should an opponent be strong enough to stay alive in the earlier portions of the fight, the latter half of a battle became much more difficult.
If Super Saiyan won't last till the end of a battle, then I just need the power to end battles instantly.
The Saiyan cupped his hand together and began to charge his Gallic gun.
Okay.
But instead of firing the beam instantly, he continued to hold in his energy, feeling that he was approaching the answer to his problem. The Super Saiyan might flowed through his veins and enriched his cells, his muscles breaking down and healing rapidly, growing in size as he continued to charge, despite now being in great pain. He was close. He could feel something. The door of Super Saiyan pulled at the hinges, letting the power lock behind it flow through greater than ever. But Black Adam would not allow such a thing, and while the prince was distracted with his new discovery, the tyrannical tyrant used all of his speed to strike the Saiyan directly in the gut with a punch, not allowing Vegeta the time to react, and the energy began to fade from his hands.
Come on,
Your
Vegeta.
grandiose displays of power leave you ripe for attack.
The prince responded with a single punch of his own, a glowing purple fist cracking Adam across the temple, and then opened his palm, firing what remained of the Gallic gun and engulfing the king in the attack's big bang. Vegeta hadn't lost all of his energy. He had just made his outward aura recede after he got hit, counting on the fact that Black Adam had no experience with Ki users and how they could hide their power. A trick he'd picked up from Kakarot, as much as that fact annoyed him.
You talk too much.
Black Adam's body was singed. That attack had been incredible, even compared to the might the Super Saiyan had shown prior. If Vegeta could achieve that level of power at all times, the thought terrified the king, and he decided he would not allow this to come to pass. Vegeta too could tell the battle was coming to a close, and charged back at Adam, his Super Saiyan power shining defiantly.
Okay.
On Kent Farm, impacts of Kakarot and Metallic Skull fighting shook the barn, and made matters even worse for the two youngsters faced with one of the most stressful situations of their lives, which was saying a lot. Kakarot, however, was having a blast, but had noticed something that was now giving him the edge.
I don't get it. How are you dodging us so easily now?
You haven't realized? Or did you not think of the issue here?
What issue? Did you mess up, John?
Me? It's probably you not having enough power, Martin.
Kakarot took the chance to burst from his Wrath state into his Super Saiyan form for just an instant, giving him the power and speed to jam the Ryujingu Bang into Metallic Skull's chest and tear the two of them apart in one decisive move, before returning back to his base state.
It's your energy! Yeah, you've got the right idea, but combining two people's powers ain't as simple as just forcing it together. There's gotta be a balance there. Like two rivers. Your arguing made it more like lightning in a forest.
Man, you really know your stuff. You should teach this.
Damn, you're right. They said it'd be way easier than this.
Huh? Who did?
Never mind. You can take us to jail now.
Just go on your own. I'm busy. See you guys. Try and find that balance.
Kakarot began to return to the farm, leaving the two confused foes to sit with each other for a moment, before deciding to take the chance
try to kill
while they
nobody.
could, and
You
ran
just
back
wanted
to
to fight
Metropolis
Kakarot, so
for a drink. Inside the barn, Gohan and Cass had overheard Kakarot's words, and both the students of Ken realized what their issue was. Cass had the focus, Gohan had the mind, but without the other, they were both useless.
Gohan, breathe.
What?
Like me. Watch, breathe.
Cassandra
down,
took deep
nigga.
breaths, and Gohan followed suit, tuning out the world around him, and calming himself down. He was still too nervous to try the procedure himself, but he was now relaxed enough to at least suggest another idea.
Mr. Kakarot showed me that key. It's a life force. It just doesn't have to destroy. It can heal and calm. If I stay by the cow and soothe it, could you follow my instructions and deliver the baby?
Yes!
Perfect. Then, well, let's get started.
Come on, Vegeta.
Vegeta and Black Adam were locked in a grapple.
This is fire, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Lightning,
This fire.
smashing and crackling against each other. Their strengths were being pushed to the limit, and neither one seemed able to budge. Until Vegeta, slowly but surely, began to gain ground, inch by inch. His muscles were swelling once again. His ki was being poured into them, forcing Super Saiyan to act for his will, dragging the energy, kicking and screaming to the surface. The power of myth was his birthright, and it would bow to him.
You better get strong, boy. You better get strong. Impression.
With this newfound power, Vegeta
Yeah, nigga
began
just
to
got
push
Super
Black
Saiyan.
Adam to the floor, the Immortal's arms now at the breaking point.
This is the Super Saiyan, you weakling! This is the only myth that matters! No god is greater, do you understand?
Black Adam desperately tried to fight, but it was to no avail, as his attention had been caught by something else. Around him, his people screaming and running in terror, from the might of this love maniac. No. From him, too. Wonder Woman was the only thing preventing any casualties, and it reminded the ruler what power he believed in above any god. His people.
Yes, sir.
You are mistaken.
Shazam!
As the bolts of lightning came down, Vegeta dodged out of the way, letting go of his grip. From beneath the smoke, a frail old man emerged where Black Adam had previously stood, leaving the Saiyan Prince to frantically search as to where his foe had escaped.
I trust this means this is over?
Yes, this
Clipped
has
Adam.
gone far enough. I have my pride, but it is tempered by my duty. I will not damn my country over a grudge match. I can clearly see what such a thing reduces a man to. Thank you for protecting my people, as I knew you would.
Shazam!
Black Adam flew off, returning to his castle. Diana was unsure if this had made things better or worse, but it definitely wasn't how this was meant to go.
Coward! Next time, think twice about challenging the Super Saiyan!
We're leaving. Now.
Vegeta powered down, taking a heavy breath as he returned to his base form. He ached all over and was exhausted. But that didn't matter. There was a joy filling him now. He had found a new path, something to focus on.
He needed his ass
and
whooped.
perfect.
Goku needed to whoop his ass.
Then, he truly would be the Super Saiyan. The two royals reboarded the invisible jet and made their exit. While she was disgusted by everything that had just transpired, she wasn't going to simply pout. True strength required confrontation. But this time, she would not let the Saiyan make her lose her temper. A talent he, almost exclusively, possessed.
You disgrace your honor.
Excuse me?
Oh,
When
shit.
this opportunity was presented, I asked you not to squander this legendary power. By engaging in brawls with no regard for the circumstances, you dishonor your vow.
If you were paying attention,
Hold on,
you'd
bitch.
notice who attacked first.
But did you need to respond? You were right. You were sent to get in a fight. Has the notion crossed your mind that embracing the worst expectations of others is foolish? No, of course it hasn't. You tapped into more power out there. That's all you care about.
Yes. Yes, it is. I can sense him, you know. Every day since his return. He's sitting on a mountain of power, and I need to know if I can reach its summit.
Why? Tell me why.
I am the pinnacle of the Saiyan race, and yet somehow, despite all odds, he achieved the legend. The legendary Super Saiyan was meant to only appear every 1,000 years, but I've reached it now. How could there be two of us? 3? I need to know which one of us it truly is.
Against her better
Oh,
judgment,
man, there's a fourth
the
one, nigga.
princess adjusted the jet's autopilot and turned to look at Vegeta. She couldn't place why, but something about him seemed to always make her throw intuition to the wind. Kakarot leaned against the Mogo tree, using his sensors to monitor what was happening in the barn. Initially, he'd planned to rush right back in and walk the kids through the rest of the bath, but when he'd gotten close to the barn, he saw that they had things under control, at least for the moment. Now, his two students were too busy to even notice he'd been free of the fight for a good while, so he waited with Moga. After more time passed, Cassandra pulled the car fully from its mother. Her Batgirl costume was ruined. Meanwhile, Gohan was perfectly clean, though he looked worse for wear. The poor boy couldn't help but puke now that the task was done and the adrenaline was wearing off. Cassandra was also now having trouble with holding the calf. They'd done great in the moment, but still needed to work on consistency.
Ew.
Kakarot, proudly sensing everything that was going on.
Those students of yours have a harmonic synergy.
Huh? You mean they work well together?
Yes, they have the potential to be their other half and find balance as a pair.
Okay.
I thought so too. I'm gonna go celebrate with them.
I'm afraid that may need to wait. It appears your other half has arrived.
Kakarot sensed it shortly after Mogo did, and instinctively, a bead of sweat fell down his face. He was finally here. Vegeta and Wonder Woman had parked the jet just outside the farm, in Diana's usual landing spot. The prince spared no moment, approaching his fellow Saiyan.
Oh shit.
Locking eyes with him for the first time since their battle. So long ago now.
Hey, Vegeta! Been a long time!
I see you're just as impudent as ever, Kakarot.
Yeah. Looks like you're different, though. Somehow you're even stronger than before.
You have no idea, clown.
Vegeta erupted into his Super Saiyan form, the wind blowing Kakarot's hair back as his eyes widened in joy. Superboy had been one thing, but Vegeta was different. This level of power was mind-boggling. Even Diana had never seen Vegeta unleash it to this extent. Kakarot truly did motivate him like nothing else.
A Super Saiyan. You know, I knew if I could do it, you could pull it off too. Not bad.
Transform. I saw you, the image of you achieving this state. It's burned into my soul. Show me again, and let me purge that indignity.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Took a deep breath. It came much harder to him now, but the power was still his, and he drew it to the surface in an awesome showcase of tranquil fear.
This what you wanted to see, Vegeta?
You, cloaked in the same mythic robe as I. No, that will not stand. Today, Kakarot, today you meet your doom.
They both assumed their battle stances, ready for the first sign to strike.
Thank you for your time, Kakarot. We're leaving now. Sorry for any interruption.
Diana appeared between the two.
Oh, you a hoe.
And Vegeta felt
You
the
a
urge
hoe.
to kill. Disappeared.
Yeah. Come
Replaced
on.
by embarrassment and fury at the Amazon, forsaking his destiny once more. But he knew by the look in her eyes that she would try to stop him by force, and any ensuing fight with Kakarot would be tainted. The two Super Saiyans powered down, and Vegeta began to walk away.
Fine, I can wait. Prepare yourself, you low-class scum. Your day of reckoning will come, by my hand.
Right. I'll see you then.
The jet flew off. Kakarot felt his heart once again. He knew in his current state, he was missing a gigantic amount of his power. And it was getting worse by the day. A fight with Vegeta might have been the best chance he had for one last, true battle. The royal pair flew in silence for the majority of the way back to Paradise Island. That is, until Diana turned to face Vegeta.
Why did you interrupt?
You know that if I didn't stop you, you would have tried to commit a genocide. I will not allow that.
Vegeta remained silent. Diana raised the lasso, daring Vegeta, and if her statement wasn't true, to hold it and prove he really wasn't planning to damn his race to extinction.
I can fly the rest of the way there. Stay out of Saiyan affairs. You do not understand.
Vegeta opened up the cockpit and darted out of the plane, flying back to his quarters. Alone. The Oversaiyan, standing amidst his farm home, was finally snapped out of his funk by the sound of Gohan and Cassandra running out of the bar.
Okay.
Oh, hey guys! Great job there! Sorry, did the jet make you curious?
Jet?
Wait, no. Someone was here?
Yeah, just Diana and Vegeta. Nothing important.
The princess?
The superhero!
I guess you're a big fan.
So cool!
If you didn't come to see Diana, though, why'd you run out?
I almost forgot. You need to come quick!
Twins!
Huh?
Twin. All right, I stayed up this time, guys. All right, but yeah, this is a fire chapter, man. Damn, I don't know why he blue balled us with that fucking fight. I was ready for that Goku and Vegeta fight rematch, but whatever. Fuck you, Wonder Woman. Anyway, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Shout out to the Geek for Fun for this video, and you know what I'm saying. Let's get to 1,500 by the end of the year. All right, catch y'all next time. Peace.